The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to the show. I'm in Los Angeles, California, in my hotel room. It is 2 hours later in St. Louis, where Andrew is. Hello, Andrew.
Back to you.
And Noah is in Arizona, which I don't know what time zone you guys are on.
Same.
Is it?
I'm in your
same as
time
me?
zone, baby. Yep.
Hell yeah, girl. It's a nice place to be. I've been here since, God, I don't even remember now. Thursday?
Friday.
Wednesday? Thursday.
Thursday, because we had to pre-tape.
Thursday. Yes, that is what happened. So many good responses on last week's shows with Aria, my friend. That was really nice to read all of those. And I sent her a lot of the DMs I got. And man, you made someone's day by writing all those nice things. So thank you guys so much. It's always so nice to get your feedback on that stuff. And yeah, I'm feeling a little grogged this morning, but I'm waking up. But I'm in like I have my blackout curtains drawn because I have to there's nowhere to sit in here where if I open the curtains, I would be backlit and I would look like an ominous, the deal or no deal guy. And so I just have to keep the curtains drawn. And so my room is quite depressing. And I could have slept till 5 p.m. today, like easily, no problem, no questions asked. I've been doing it a lot. I had some good sleeping in times this weekend, but still not enough. Like I can sleep all the time and I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with people that get up and like do stuff. If you have free time, why aren't you in bed? And that is that's my conundrum recently, is like when I have free time, I just want to be in bed. I don't want to be writing a book. I don't want to be going hiking. I don't want to go to Sephora to restock my makeup. I don't want to go shopping for an outfit to wear on Conan. I just want to sleep. And I just want to be in bed on my phone. And I'm not depressed, maybe a little bit, but like that's what's soothing to me. But like it feels really sad getting back into bed when it's beautiful outside and there are tons of friends that live in this town that I can hang out with. And I'm doing that instead. Any thoughts?
Well, I think if you're being very active when you're not in bed, then bed is okay. It's a balance. If it's active for 30 minutes, bed for 23 hours and 30 minutes, that's,
Right.
you're doing a lot of shit. You're not just like someone that's like, you got like fucking half drinking Gatorade bottle by the bed and you're just eating from a Chinese takeout and you just have the same underwear on for 5 days. No, you're very active. Like it's not weird to think that you need rest. And when you are performing, I'm sure you're probably better when you're getting out of bed. No, I would hope so. Do you feel refreshed or do you feel more tired because of being
No,
in
I
bed
feel
so long?
resentful that I have to get out of bed. And like that the only reason I get out of bed is to appear normal because I know that it's what I should do as opposed to that's the difference between my life and everyone else's. Yes, I do things, but I don't ever want to do any of them. And I feel like people, like I always compare myself to Kirsten because she's just someone who just like likes to get up and she like likes to go out and she likes to go on hikes and she likes to go shopping and she likes to like cook and she likes to clean up and she like, of course and sometimes she likes to go to work. Like I don't like to do any of the things. Everything I do out of because I know it's what I should do. It's not because I want to do it. If it were up to me, it would be being in bed on my phone reading a new Columbine book.
Yeah, but
that's what I want to do.
I think it's a happiness issue.
Her Columbine book is doing those things. Like that's what makes her.
Why would anyone's Columbine book not be a Columbine book? Why would it be going to Home Depot to pick out sconces or caulking for the new tub they're putting in? Like I know I return to this over and over, but I wish I were a person who liked doing things. And I like
Yeah,
going
but
to dinner with friends. I like
yeah.
sleeping. I like staying in bed. I like snacking. I like going to lunch with friends. But that's really only the things I like to do. Everything else in my life, I like podcasting because it makes me feel accomplished at the end of it, and I like talking to friends and hanging out with friends. But um, and I like performing at sometimes. But if I'm going to be honest, I'd rather be in bed reading a Columbine. My true core self would rather be in bed on Reddit reading Columbine
Yeah.
posts than out doing things. And I think that people
What about when you're at
genuinely
comedy
like
shows?
things.
When
When
you're
I'm at comedy
like this
shows,
weekend, and you see Carlisle, you see your friends in comedy, and you're performing. Does that give you a little bit of life?
yes, it does, but I'm there out of obligation. I'm not there for the love of the game. I don't think. I'm there because I have people that are coming to see me, and I have to, like, I was just talking to Anya about this. Anya wrote me this morning that she's in New York City and she was at the Comedy Cellar last night, and she noticed this trend of comedians like blaming the audience and getting like kind of mad at the audience for being shitty. And like, you guys don't get that. Like, oh, you guys are sensitive,
Mm.
and like scolding the audience a little bit. And she's like, I just really like, you never do that. She was like, I've never seen you, I've watched you a million times. You've never once gotten mad at the audience for not getting something. You always are just like, that's so mature. That's so evolved of you. It's just such new comic energy, I feel, to get mad at the audience. And I was like, yes and no. I feel that I don't get mad at the audience because sometimes there are shitty audiences. Like sometimes these LA crowds recently have been very groany. Like, so like everything I say is just like, oh, like they just hear a word. It's an interesting new facet to the LA audience that I don't remember encountering when I lived here. But I don't get mad at them ever in person. I will talk shit about an audience when I get off stage. Man, they sucked. God, they were awful. Fuck, I hate them. But I never do it in person, and it's not because I'm like I'm a more mature comedian. It's because I have low self-esteem, and I truly feel that if I were to be like, you guys suck, someone might go, you suck and you're ugly and we like other people better than you. My fear, me not getting mad at anyone ever in my life is never me being the better person or being like, it's not a maturity. It's actually me fearing retribution from them that I cannot take because I'm so scared of any criticism. I'm so scared of being told that I did something wrong. So instead, I will talk about them behind their back.
I feel like the comedian though that goes, you guys suck. You don't get it. You're too fucking woke. You're too weak. Whatever. That they're already getting that response that you fear from the crowd, and that's their insecurity showing of them being like, well, it's on them. It's not me. And their fear already happened. They didn't get the laugh. You know what I mean?
But this fear of mine, it's in everything I do. Like I don't ever like to tell anyone they're wrong because and I've talked about this with a therapist before, and she said that that's the fear of a 15-year-old girl that someone's going to call you ugly. But that's truly always my biggest fear is that someone can just anyone can win an argument with me by saying, well, you're ugly. Like that is my biggest fear. And I don't trust people not to use that against me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will like if we're arguing about the environment, if we're arguing about whether I'm funny or not, like if they pull out you're ugly and then the argument's over and I will go cry and I will not be able to talk anymore. And so I just am always I always take blame first. I'd rather always have blame than ever blame someone else because I'm just scared they're going to say either you're a bitch or you're ugly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, how many times does that happen? I mean, since grade school. I mean, I don't.
Well, enough times that's never something I want to feel again because I might kill myself if it happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the feeling of feeling ugly or feeling undesirable is so.
Do you know what
It's
the counterforce?
What?
The counterforce to fear. What is it? What do you think it is?
Bravery.
No. Happiness.
Self-love, happiness. Really?
Happiness, yes. And I'm reading all about it. I just need to get a little bit more into it to be able to.
Is in that book?
It's called the book is called What Happy People Know. And he talks a lot about like why we've evolved in a certain way that fear inhibits our happiness. And exactly what you were talking about before of like, well, I just want to stay in bed. I just want to be on my phone, isolate myself. I can't enjoy myself when I'm out with my friends or doing the thing that I love to do. And I think a lot of it is fear-based. But I don't know what else to tell you from this point on.
I do enjoy hanging out with my friends when I get out there, and I do enjoy doing sets. And you're right, it is about fear. And I encountered it a lot last night. Like my friend Ben Glebe wanted to like we did a karaoke night. He got a karaoke room, and I invited a bunch of people. And then we were going to go to a Korean spa after that. And it was just going to be like a fun night of hangs. And Ben is someone who always is just like has such fun things planned, and he always gets me involved, and like it always becomes like our thing that we're planning, that we're inviting our friends, and for some reason we always turn into like it's our joint party, and I'm like, I didn't even want to do this in the first place. So I invited like all these people, and I have to say that like from the people that we like wanted to be there, 3 or 4 didn't come because I was like trying to prod and like figure out like why don't you want to come? And I thought tiredness. I don't like karaoke. I don't like someone who's going to be there, but it was honestly like social anxiety. People were just like scared to be around people, which I do not understand. Like I sometimes don't want to talk to people, but I think that's the best place to go is a karaoke room because you literally people are singing and you don't have to talk. But we lost a lot of people last night because of that. So I know this isn't like abnormal. I didn't have it for this for whatever reason, but I like just people being like, I just don't want to talk about my life. Everyone in LA wants to hear about what you're up to, and I don't like what I'm up to, and so I don't want to talk about it. And I don't know, like, can't you just skip that? Can't you just go, oh, I've just been like, my dog is my life now. Like, just find something or just be honest, because you could just say I'm depressed. I don't know. I feel like I'm not scared of those interactions as much. I'm just like, I don't want to do it, not because I'm scared of talking to people. Because I would rather be in bed reading.
I mean, do they actually have a fear of singing? I mean, if you're in a small room, you feel like you have to sing. Maybe they don't want to sing. That's an anxiety that people don't want to deal with. People also, LA, people are competitive. Like, if you're not doing something, if you don't have a show, if you don't have, something going on, you're often seen as less than, maybe more so in your head than you actually are.
Yeah.
You're in a city that if you're not working, you might as well be dead. You know what I mean? Like, so someone like you're there. You're there to promote your special. You have so much going on. So
but I used to live here and have nothing going on. I know what it's like to have.
But do you remember that feeling then of not?
I never cared if people asked, because I always knew that my future was bright. Like, this is part of the process to get to where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, that's a great outlook. That's a very positive outlook that you.
Like, I just never thought like because something's not happening now, it's because I'm not talented.
But
and
then,
I don't even think.
But
that
how can you not apply that then to when you're worried someone's gonna call you ugly, but you're like, well, I'm talented. But then I guess underneath it all, do you think you're ugly?
Because no one in a conversation is gonna say to me, "You're not talented." If I'm talking to a friend and I go, "I don't really have anything going on right now," they're not gonna go, "You're ugly and not talented." They might say that if I say, "You suck. You guys aren't laughing." Then that's why I don't ever get into altercations with people and confront them, because I'm scared they'll use the ugly card. But no one's going to use the ugly card when I'm just saying I don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I think that like when I hear my friends say like I don't have anything going on and I'm like depressed about my life and I don't want to talk to anyone about like how depressed I am, I'm like, to me, I'm like, even the people that are killing it are depressed, and just say you're depressed.
Yeah.
Like that will connect you
No,
to
I
people
agree.
more than saying
I
like,
see
oh,
what
I'm
you're
working
saying.
on this web series that I'm writing. Like, instead of like trying to make something of like, yeah, I just feel like that could be the answer. And also, but I get it. Like, I don't relate to that. Like some people might not relate to, like Kirsten might not relate to wanting to stay in bed. Like Kirsten, her being sick is like the worst thing ever. Whereas like I don't get physically sick ever. And my boyfriend says when he got COVID, when he got COVID, I remember saying, I'm a little bit jealous you have COVID because you have an excuse to be in bed. And like, I just never have an excuse to be in bed. I mean, I could say I'm depressed, but people sometimes get a little bit like depression. People don't really take as like for me, it's like a cold. It lasts a couple days. People that don't understand depression, they're like, she might kill herself. She's a liability. I don't want to work with her. Like, it's not the same as depression being like, I can't make it today. I'm depressed. It becomes like this cloud, as if you're saying like, I have stage 1 something.
Mhm.
Like this is going to end in my death perhaps. And you should be worried about me, as opposed to like, I'm just feeling down today. Whereas if you call and you say, I have COVID, people go, oh man, that sucks. And they're not like, I'm so worried about Nikki. She might die, like the COVID now, as opposed to like before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could get sick a little, but then Chris was like, you don't want to be sick because you feel sick. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that part. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's
Yeah.
like to feel sick. So I don't know. I feel sick in the head a lot, but I don't know what it's like to feel like physically like so sick. And I know that that's awful. And I don't wish that on myself. But, during the Dancing with the Stars, I prayed to God to get injured, and I did. And sometimes I feel like I want to just like, I know that if I asked for it, I'd be like so mad once I got it. I just don't want a migraine. I want any kind of sickness except a migraine. I think I can handle stomach. I just want something to get me out of the constant stream of texts and emails that I get bombarded with every day. And I know that I'm very lucky to be working and having people want to work with me, but it's just too much. Me and Theo were talking. I did Theo's podcast this weekend, and we were talking about just burnout and like and I think anyone who even is unemployed can feel burnout of just like, I got to work on my garden. I got to clean the garage. I got to take the kids to school. I got to take the kids to practice. I got to take the kids to Little League. I got to have the cable. I got to meet the cable man. Like, just saying yes to too many things. Too many things have to get done, and then nothing gets done. I just feel
So what's the fear of saying no?
that if you say no to this one thing, that could have been the thing that makes someone, like if I say no to a podcast,
Yeah.
a producer or an actress or someone who wants to like work with me could have heard me and been like, I want to work with her. And like, that leads to this opportunity that I missed because I just didn't do this one podcast.
But an opportunity that will put more on your plate that will actually make you unhappy.
No, an opportunity that actually I might like, that will make me so much money, that'll make it so that I can, retire sooner, buy my parents a house, like it's money.
No, I
It's
get
about
what you're
money.
saying. I don't know.
There's this photo shoot that I just turned down that's like this amazing photo shoot that's like done by this amazing photographer, and it would be in New York right before I'm doing Seth Meyers next week. It would be on that day, and I'm like, I want to focus on my Seth Meyers interview. I don't want to style myself. I don't want to pay $1,000 per look for a stylist to come in when I'm not getting paid for this thing. It's for a magazine no one's even heard of, but it would be cool pictures that I would have the rest of my life. And I need new pictures because I've aged significantly since my last ones. And it would be these really cool, like Vogue type, like model shots. And I turned it down because I just don't want to style. I don't want to come up with 3 outfits. I can't. I have to go on the talk this week. I have to go on Conan's podcast. So I have to at least wear something cute from the bottom up or from the waist up. I have to go on Bill Maher's podcast. That's a full outfit. The talk is a full outfit because I think I have to walk to the desk. Seth Meyers next week is a full outfit. It's like coming up with outfits is alone like just such a hair and makeup too. Like figuring out that I'm doing a shoot with the Hollywood Reporter tomorrow. It's all just like so. Everything you say yes to isn't just like showing up. Even podcasting, like Theo's podcast, I look has like 250,000 views within 2 hours or something. Like That's going to
Yeah.
have more views than my TV show on E. Like, and I'm winging it. I'm doing my hair and makeup on the Uber there. Like, where are my priorities? I mean, I don't know what
Yeah.
to do anymore.
I mean,
These
here's
are
the thing,
champagne
like,
problems.
in
I'm
a
aware.
way, but they're real problems. They're not. It's not fake. It's not like just because it sounds like, I don't know. Like, on the flip side, like, look at my shit right now. Like, I feel like I'm somewhat successful in this business, right? Like, I make more money probably than like 99% of stand-up comedians. If I do like put on a show in Nashville, I'm sure my ticket sales aren't like insane, but they're pretty decent, I bet, if I called and asked. Like, my engagement's good. I talked to an agent and he's like, "Oh, I'll give you to one of my, below agents, like, so, but it'll be on my team." And then he talks to his team and they're like, "Well, actually, no one can take you right now, even the below agents." So, like, the flip side of what you're going through, and like, here I am as someone that I know, like, if you put me, I will fucking do well in stand up, and I could probably draw a decent amount, and they don't even want to make the phone calls for me to get. And
Because
so,
it's
like,
no money for them. Agencies don't. If you're taking 10%
I'm just
of
saying
whatever.
though, like, these are problems of like, I can't even get someone to get me something, even though now I'm just reaching out to clubs myself now. That's like my new
Yeah.
thing. So
Well,
I got this
that's
list.
not a new thing. That's what you do. That's what everyone does.
I know,
I've been
but
telling
what
you to do that.
my point is though is that like here you are having opportunities sent at you, and then on the flip side here I can't even get someone to get. I'm just saying, like, to that, like. So I don't know. I'm just trying to put things maybe in
Well,
perspective.
that's why I
of,
just
like,
said champagne problems, and you proved it. Let's
Yeah.
go to break. We'll be right back. Andrew!
every rose is a thorn. Shit, I did that one already.
Did that one.
It's okay. I don't think you've ever said every rose is a thorn.
Yeah,
That's new.
think about it.
We're back. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I'm not trying to be not grateful for the things, but I'm just a little bit saying like it. Yeah, I've been in your shoes. I've been in these sandals I'm wearing, and it doesn't get easier for some reason. And
Yeah,
the difference is, like, you're making a living wage though. Like, you're not. At least you're not like, you know, it, broke and having to do stuff you don't want to do necessarily for money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
that's
It's more
for
than
sure.
just money.
when-
It's probably more than just money.
It just
It's also-
what doesn't make sense to me though.
It's all
is,
money
like,
in the end.
But that's the thing. Like, I think I generate income, however, like, and future income, and like, yeah, I know, like, some of these agents, they only want to represent people that do theaters, but there are junior agents that are representing people that would be less of a draw than me, that for some reason don't want to, and granted, like, I got to go to maybe different agencies and talk to multiple, and like, I understand that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, it's just like some things just don't make sense in this business, like, where, like, even in the past, like, when I've done very well at clubs in New York and I didn't get a fair look, I felt like, like, I don't know, there's just a lot of, like, no's in this business where you think, well, why? Like, what is it about me that's not good enough? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. So,
And you take it personally.
of course.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get on Comedy Central. Comedy Central would not look at me, not acknowledge me. There was this, Live at Gotham was the show to get on.
Yeah.
And then Comedy Central Presents was a thing that you couldn't even get a half hour until you got on Live at Gotham. And I was in New York. I had been on The Tonight Show. I had been on Last Comic Standing. And they just would not ever acknowledge me. I would do their showcases every year to get on Live at Gotham or whatever kind of thing they had. Never, ever. And it was just like, what is it? It's personal. Like, and sometimes
Yeah.
it is. Like, I was talking to a comic this weekend who's like, I can't get spots at this place because the person who books it does not like me. Just, I know they don't like me. I know why they don't like me. It's a misunderstanding, but they just don't like me. And I'm like, then, like, find another way then. Like, instead
Yeah.
of complaining about why don't they like me? Like, just give up on that, because like you can't convince someone to like you, really. I mean, it's gonna be their thing. I remember the second that I got an MTV show, Comedy Central came calling, because it's like, oh, someone else likes you, now we want you. Yeah, or it was like, the people that were controlling were saying yes to things at Comedy Central just kind of got a bad idea of who I was, because I was like dating comedians, and they thought I was just like, they dismissed me because they thought I was just some like stupid whore that like wanted to be a good comedian
Yeah.
by fucking them or something, even though I wasn't. And I think that once they got to know me, they, at a party, a Christmas party at a club once, and I met the people that were making the decisions. They were like, oh, we actually do like her. Like, I don't know what happened, but it was never in my control.
Yeah, it's funny. The agent that I spoke to was like, "Oh, I just assumed you had an agent." That's another thing that is a way to look at it. Like, oh, they probably assume that I have someone helping, but it's
Right.
whatever. I don't know. I'm just like, it's just I sent out probably like 30 different emails to clubs, and you hear back from like one after like 2 weeks, and you're just like, do I write again? I guess I'll just send another one. It's just, whatever it is. But
That's good that you did that, though.
yeah, no, it felt proactive. It feels like I'm actually like, I'm feeling motivated about it, and that felt good to just do it. So, and I've got, but it is what it is. What else has been going on? It is what it is. Like the rose is a thorn. It is what it is.
It's just like such a thing that you say. It never makes anyone feel better about anything.
Hey, it was what it was.
It's like it is what it. I'll never forget. It's a part of a bit I used to do, but my friend who discovered one night when we were all showing each other our labias one night, because I was the first one of all my friends. I was my first of my friends to like feel insecure about my vagina, and they didn't even know that they should feel insecure about theirs based on like what people talk, like based on, they're not listening. My friends were not listening to what men were saying. I have to say, I've always been more sensitive
aware
to like what men around me are saying about women's bodies, what the internet is saying. Like I scope out, landmines that I could possibly avoid to not get made fun of or not be called ugly or not be unlovable. And one of the things I found was like, if you have a fucking sloppy pussy, and that men will make fun of you and they don't like it. And so one night at a college party, I told my friends, like, I got drunk, and like, I think it was the first time I admitted, like, I hate my vagina and I think there's something wrong with it. And like, I'm not ever going to hook up with anyone until I can get surgery, and I'm saving up for it. And they were just like, what? And then we all went in the bathroom to compare, because it was like me, I think it was me, Kirsten, Hala, and then there was a couple, I'm not going to say
and then three
names,
girls you didn't know.
but it was in, no, it was, that's in the Pornhub version, but it was it was just all my best friends. But it was I've done this a lot in different parts of my life, but this was the first time I did it, and it was in Kansas City, Missouri, downtown KC. We rented a hotel, I forget what for, and I remember my friend, like, there were I do a longer bit about it. I'm not gonna like do the whole bit, but my one friend had really, really long labia, like way longer than mine, and it made me feel so good, because I'm like, she doesn't care about hers, like they're like, and she's like hooks up a lot. She's like, I've never had any complaints, like it's fine. And then my other friend had like nothing, and it was like her vagina was perfect, and I was like, oh, of course yours is like amazing. And maybe you can guess who that is based on who I talked about before, who just seems to like hiking and like decorating.
Oh, now it all
and
makes
like
sense.
Fall pots, whatever the fuck.
She just
fall
wants to bring that
pots are.
perfect
Makes
pussy
sense.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, it was so, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, of course. And that friend that's always trying to get like she's super thin and fit, and like the rest of her friends are bitching about feeling like fat, and like she goes like, yeah, I know, I'm like so bloated, and you're like, get the fuck out of here. Like, they try to fit, they want to feel a part of the group of like, they want to join in on the self-hating women talk, but they can't really, because it's almost like me bitching about my career, and you being like, well, look at what I like, and you're like,
Yeah.
Look
at my
up.
labia. Look at my labia.
Yeah.
My labia can't even get a call back.
That's how I got into clubs. I was like, I got this amazing labia joke. You got to see it. You should write them about your labia, which is really just your ball sack as a woman. But then there was this one friend of mine that had like an in between. Like if you were like, Goldilocks, she was like the mild one, but they were still longer than maybe I showed pictures of like, this is what men like, I guess. And please don't write me and be like, I love meaty pussies. Please, it disgusts me when you write that. I don't care what you like. Anyone who's listening, do not write me what you prefer in bed, that I shouldn't be insecure about mine. Don't fucking write me anything about my vagina. It is my thing to talk about, not yours to comment on. Please, God, stop. So she wrote to, or she was like a little bit traumatized. She was like, fuck, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I'm like, it is. Like, you're unlovable. Like, you need to get surgery. Like, we can, save up together. Because hers were a little bit more like mine. And she was like really like bummed out. And it was like I suddenly gave her this new insecurity that seconds before she would never have thought about herself. And this is a friend of mine who like shares all the same insecurities I do, a really good friend. And so she was just like, I could see, and it was nice for me to like share this burden with someone. She was really sad. And then she was like, I have to call Steve. And she was like, I was like, what? And so she calls her ex-boyfriend, who is in a different time zone and out like at parties. We were in college. And she calls him on speakerphone. And we're drunk and she's drunk and she's like, Steve. And he's like, yeah, what's up? She's like, hey, I have a quick question. Like, my labia? And he's like, what? And she's like, so my vagina, okay? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, are my like labia like the lips that like hang out? Is it like, are they like really long? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, like the longest like you've ever seen. He's like, yeah, probably. And we're all just like on speakerphone waiting. And then she goes, is that a bad thing? And he just goes, I mean, it is what it is. And it was just like, oh no.
Yeah,
it is bad. What it is. Which is what you say if you like lose your arm in war or something. Like, listen, no one wants this, but it is what it's like a defeatist. Like it is what it is never preceded by anything good. Like I won $1 million. I mean, it is what it is. It's never that. It's always I lost $1 million. It is what it is. And so after that,
reminds me of that song.
What
will be, say rah, so rah. That's what, that song?
Oh, yeah, que sera, sera, whatever.
Will I be pretty? Will be. I guess it's a precursor to it is what it is.
Man, just, it is what it is. If you can ever avoid using that in response to your woman's body, please try.
Or your own story about your career.
Dude, I saw a fucking picture of myself last weekend that was devastating. Like
hey, it is what it is, yo.
Dude, it was so what it is. It was I think I'm not even joking you. I showed Carlisle because she was commented on some like, she was saying like I'm so fat right now, whatever. She was like lamenting about her body as women oft do. And she like showed me a picture, like, look at this picture. Someone took me on stage. Look at my double chin. It was a bad picture of her. She just did not look herself. And I go, oh, I had that moment too. Look at this. And like, I could see how much she couldn't spin it. There was nothing to be said about like, that's not really what you look like. Like it was me from the back wearing a one piece. And she goes, honestly, Nikki, I've been doing this thing where I do 20 squats a day. Like it really like you can
so
do
it was about
anywhere.
Your butt.
It was about my arm, my butt, my back, my hump shoulder, my legs, my cellulite. Like it was about everything that could be wrong in a photo. I just didn't know I looked like that at all. And Chris's brother took the picture and then airdropped it to all of us. And all I can picture is Jack's wife, who is like an adorable little tiny thing, zooming in on that picture, much like I would if my husband were with like a famous comedian and like I kind of like, not that she like, I just know that anytime I zoom in on women's bodies all the time. If I go, oh my God, they're kind of like not perfect, let me zoom in. Like, and I was like, how do I get that off their fucking phones? Because we all shared it to each other. And I took Chris aside and I was like, no more pictures of me in a swimsuit without like, and we cannot airdrop those to everyone. Like, I feel so, he's like, do you want me to get them back? Like, I was like, no, because then it's a thing.
Yeah, then it's a thing.
But like,
Yeah.
I can't do this. And it was so hard for me not to let that ruin my fucking weekend. But, and I sent it to Anya because I just wanted to like send it to everyone that like I knew could not, like, there was no like, it's bad lighting, it's a bad angle, you don't look like the way. And it's like, no, you have put on some weight. This is not a good look. No one would ever say that is an attractive body. It looks like it should be a National Enquirer. Like, you know, the stars are not like any of, like, it's almost like, you know, one of those, like the most horrifying picture that could ever be of me. And I was like, I forget what my point was, but it is what it is. I've let it go. I have started doing squats. I did it
I like your way of getting like ahead of something that was sent to a lot of people is send it to more people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're
because
like,
I want other people, I want to be able to go, like, my friends can't lie to me. Because
Yeah.
and then it confirms to me like I am undesirable. I know that they would probably kill themselves if they looked like this. Like, that's what I always do is like,
were there other photos you liked of yourself in that drop box?
and by this way, when I say kill yourself if you looked like that, please don't be like, Nikki, I'm bigger than you, so this hurts my feelings to hear you say this. I'm allowed to not like my body no matter what size I am, and so are you. And it's not because of I'm not undesirable. I know that, but deep inside in my female psyche, it gets through that I am, because I'm a little bit depressed because I'm living in a fucking
You know what I did yesterday? I went to
cave.
the pool, and I had like a dark like workout shirt on. I just went in the pool with the shirt on, rolled the sleeves up to work on, you know, the upper arm tan, because I have an insane farmer's tan right now from playing golf so much. And I just leaned into wearing a t-shirt in the pool. At first, people were like, "What are you doing?" And then eventually, like, no one cared. Like,
Did someone say, "What are you doing?"
well, Brano was kind of just like, "You're not taking your shirt off," and I was like, "No, I'm just going with the shirt in the pool." And honestly, I felt more like usually when I'm at the pool, I'm uncomfortable because my shirt's off, and I just feel like my body's okay, but like certain positions, like I just feel like I have man tits a lot of time.
Yeah,
and it's just like, and
I know. I feel
and I
so
have
uncomfortable.
a little bit of hair on my back, whatever. And so I had my t-shirt on. I sat at the pool for like 2 hours. I've never been more comfortable.
Yes.
And it was just like leaning into just of being like, oh no, I'm going to do this thing.
But isn't that a new kind of farmer's tan? But I guess you never take your shirt off during
yeah.
sex either. So the only time you would see it is a shower by yourself.
Yeah,
right?
It's a cooler farmer. Yeah.
Or a massage. But do you still leave your shirt on during sex?
No, I take it off. I mean, there's certain positions where I'd rather not have my shirt off. If I'm standing up and fucking, sure, it's great. But if I'm like leaning over and I can look down and see my
God, I hate
udders
when I'm leaning
hanging
over and I see my tits hanging. I hate it.
I hate that.
They've got to be really stacked and like full for that like hangover.
Like udders. In some
Yes.
positions.
Oh, they're bad. Okay, let's get to the news.
And there's some positions where like my lower stomach will hang like not past my dick, but just like it's harder to get.
Isn't it funny? Like our biggest fear is we're unfuckable, and yet we're fucking someone during this, and yet we still feel unfuckable.
Yeah,
like that's our real fear is like someone's gonna not love us, and that we're not fuckable. But first of all, you're fucking someone that does love you, yet you still feel like it is happening in the moment, yet you still feel unfuckable.
Well, why are they fucking me? I don't deserve this pleasure. Why are you fucking me? What's wrong with you?
Yes. What's wrong with you?
Look at me. Literally, look at me. I'm right on top of you. Look at me.
We have so much show to get to. Let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Woo-wee! Hope you had all the swells this weekend. Sounds like we did too. We love our bodies. It's great here. Having all the swells. Yeah, it's Monday. You know what that means? It's Monday. All right, back to you, Noah, in the studio over there in Arizona.
Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome. And over to you,
nicely done.
Nikki, too. Then back to Noah, too.
All right, well, Nikki's in LA this week. She's got a lot of appearances, as we heard about in the first segment.
So
But
many.
something that everyone needs to be aware of, because on Saturday, July 16th, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline is getting a new number. Dialing
Really?
988 will connect you with people who can help in a mental health crisis.
988.
Yeah, 988.
July 16th is also the date of my special coming out on
Oh.
HBO called
Wow.
Good Clean Filth. I thought this was going to be some kind of
Coincidence?
cross promotion.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know what number I'll be dialing that night when the tweets don't come in.
Wait, what was the suicide number before? Was like really long.
Oh, it was that one song.
Yeah. 1-800.
Do you remember it?
Like, no. What was it?
I don't
No,
know.
I just have it. I mean, I don't have it memorized because it's just in my phone under help, No, I don't have it in my phone. But we don't have any phone numbers memorized.
Yeah.
But it was that song. Remember that song? I love that song. It's like
Logic. It's by Logic.
it would be so hard to request that at a radio station. Like if you're calling
Yeah.
in. I think that's the number that it made on the charts too. No, that was actually a good song.
No,
I just
yeah,
can't think of that doesn't conjure any lyrics for me. I was trying to think of what the lyrics were to spur any sort of sing along thing here, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, 988 though. That has a nice ring to it. 988.
Suicide song lyrics. Hold on, I want to look it up. I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. Feel like I'm out of my mind. That I feel like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? Who? That
Yeah.
one. That's so good. I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be alive. Yeah, that song is really good. But yeah, that he named it. Now he can rename that song 988. So if you're
maybe
feeling
he'll do a
suicidal, call
part two.
988, and someone will talk to you. That's a pretty nice thing out there.
I wonder how long it'll take him to get back in Detroit.
Oh my God! Yeah, no kidding.
If you call 911 in Detroit, what did they say? It takes an hour for them to just
It takes
call you back.
That was one of my jokes from when we were in Detroit when I had to look up things about it. It was the average wait time is an hour for the cops to respond to a call. If you call the cops and you get through to 911, which by the way, when I called the cops to get through to 911 when we were in Detroit because we saw a car accident about to happen.
That was wild. Yeah.
It kept ringing and I never got through. And they did call me back. But yeah. So call 988. Don't call 911 if you're feeling suicidal. Noah, what were you going to say? You said something else about this.
Oh, I was going to say that also the suicide hotline is not just for suicide. It's call if you're having a mental health crisis of any kind, or if someone you're concerned about is thinking of suicide and you want to find ways to help them.
Oh, that's nice.
It'd be funny if it was the IT guy that works for Amazon is also the suicide guy. He has multiple
I used to date
jobs.
someone who volunteered for that.
Really?
He was an
that's a tough
aspiring
job.
comedian. He had no
He what?
personality. It was perfect for him.
For suicide? That sounds like you'd want to.
Yeah, because you have to be neutral. You can't be
Yeah.
emotional.
Gotcha.
You got to talk to people logically, literally
They're all
rapper
volunteers.
logic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
I would do that, I think, but I would feel so burdened. I don't know. Sometimes I feel even when my friends or other people in my life get really sad and need my help, I kind of am oh, now it's up to me that this person doesn't kill themselves. I don't want this. Do you ever feel that way when a friend is deeply in need and you're but I am too busy right now. I literally can't. And now it's up to me that you don't hurt. You're what do I do? It feels sometimes I get scared and I get a little bit resentful where I'm where someone is I really need you right now and puts it all on you. I don't think I've ever done that when I was feeling really sad. And that's when you call that fucking line, actually, is when your friends are not able to be there for you. Or maybe you don't have friends, which is not a fucking crime if you don't have friends. It's sometimes
You call,
circumstantial.
it's your buddy that won't
Yeah,
talk
he's like,
to
I'm
the
at work right
person.
now. I'm working a suicide hotline, so I can't be there for
Wait,
you.
is that you, Dave? I can't say who it is. You didn't text me back. Yeah, I'm working.
It's so funny.
I'm making. You want to pay me $9.99 an hour to save
All right,
your life?
what's the next news story?
Okay, the next news story is about your favorite Starbucks. After launching its new chicken sandwich this week or last week, they quietly pulled it off the market because of complaints of diarrhea.
Yeah. Chicken's gross, you guys. Stop it. Stop it with your, it's healthy.
I just love that.
Stop.
But coffee makes you, the diuretic makes you shit so much.
Yeah, it really does.
Like they're like,
I like
oh,
that they
it must be
quietly
the
That's so
pull it
chicken.
off.
true.
Yeah,
That's
I drink
very
a coffee. I'm
true.
shitting before I take the first sip,
I know, it is
which is
such a
great.
good,
I love a coffee.
I love
shit.
it too.
A chicken shit, not so much.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
interesting.
chicken shit. What a great name for a little bit. You little chicken shit.
Oh, it is a really good one. It's, I mean, I don't even want to, I'm so not in the mood to talk about chickens and why we shouldn't be eating them more than the fact that
No,
they give
it
us
was
diarrhea
mostly for the
right now.
diarrhea.
Yeah.
But never mind.
Everyone
Do you like
needs to stop
diarrhea?
eating animals.
Do you like
What?
having? Would you rather have diarrhea shits or hard shits?
That's a good question. I would rather have diarrhea because at least I feel thin. I mean,
Your shits can't
and
even be
I
fat.
cannot stand like UTIs feel like and cramps feel like you have to take a shit out of your vagina and it hurts so bad. Like I just hate having hard things down there. It's so, but diarrhea is terrible. But again, I love an excuse to get out of anything. And when you have diarrhea, you really can't leave your place. You can't do anything and you can tell someone you're sick. And then you just sit on the toilet, which sucks. Both of them suck. But man, I saw this great thing today. There's this girl that I met through mutual friends, and we kind of like we hung out a little bit, but we always just followed each other on Instagram. And she has a baby now, and she posted this thing on her Instagram story today that was, she like wrote like, "What you're about to see actually happened. I am a new mom, and I was feeling hungover this morning, and kind of like." Pissed at myself for even going to this musical festival last night, even though I'm a new mom, but like I deserved it, but also like I'm fucking suffering today. And I walked in to my daughter who's in one of those like little like round things where they just like kind of bounce and they like stand up. Babies can stand up, but it's like round and they can spin around, And she was like, my daughter, I like was maybe not being the most attentive mom today. She had diarrhea. It ran down her leg onto the surface that
Oh,
of which
gosh.
she bounced, and my daughter is just slipping and sliding and like dancing upon her diarrhea. And then she posted the video of it, and it's so funny, and it makes me feel like I just was like, thank you for posting this, because I bet so many moms can relate of just like fucking like I look away for like I give myself 5 extra minutes where my husband is maybe like I know he's nearby watching TV. He falls asleep and our daughter is dancing in her diarrhea. And like what a real moment that was, that I just don't think a lot of moms post that stuff because it's just humiliating and you feel like a neglectful mom. But really it's just like you're allowed to look away for a little bit.
Also, she probably looked just like her the night before at the dance. At the fucking.
The baby was so happy too, of just like sliding around, like her
Yeah,
just
there's
toes were
nothing
in
better
it,
than watching a baby eat pudding and not give a fuck. Like they don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. They have no
God,
idea.
they're such mailboxes. Like they're not affected. Babies can absorb your anger, but they just don't care. It's so freeing. And that's why when you look at a baby, they have perfect posture. Their butt, if they're sitting up and they have no back to a chair and they're just sitting, babies have perfect posture. They're not weighed down by life yet. They're not hunched over. When they're on a device, they just look down with their head like this, which is where you're supposed to look down. You're supposed to
Because they haven't had a cell phone yet.
but if your natural way to look at things is there's like You just kind of take your ears, and if there was a bar going through right where your ear is, pretty much, that's where your head should rotate from to go up and down. That's all you need, side to side. You don't need to do your neck like this. You just need this. That's all you need. And babies do that naturally. And babies also sit up straight naturally and have their butt kind of babies look like they're like waddling, but that's the natural way to sit. Like I saw a baby when I'm sitting without a chair back, I'm like hunched immediately. And babies, if you watch a baby, try to naturally walk like a baby or sit like a baby, and you'll be doing it the natural way, because babies aren't burdened by life yet. And when babies cry, they aren't stifling their cries yet, because they're not trying to be polite. They're not worried what other people think. So babies, they sound so loud because their bodies are completely comfortable. So their bodies are vibrating and making the sound get so much bigger. Whereas us humans, we're so tense. And when we cry, we're like, ah! Like it stays up in your head. But if we were relaxed and letting it cry, like really letting ourselves, our cries would be so much louder because our body would vibrate like an instrument. It's very interesting. Let's go to break and come back with Top 1, Bottom 1. All right, we're back. It's Monday, so it's time for Top 1, Bottom 1. And the category today is
something in a hotel room.
Okay, Top 1, Bottom 1 things in your hotel room. In a hotel room, any hotel room that you like and then don't like. Let's start with bottom. I'll go first. The worst thing in a hotel room is, I got two. I'm sorry, I always go two. No place to charge your phone next, like the plug to plug in your phone. You have to like pull out the bed, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you see all the things that the maid has never gotten over thousands of stays. Or the plug is just like precarious. Like we need plugs next to the bed for your phones. At Airbnbs, at hotels, if you don't have that going on at your Airbnb, give me my money back, bitch. That is insane. And then secondly, the most disgusting thing in a hotel room that I didn't learn until I did Last Comic Standing in 2006. I was not a road comic before that, so I didn't have experience in hotels. I remember I got to the Hilton Garden Inn in 2006, and I was staying with Jackie Cation because we were at the semifinals for Last Comic Standing. She's another comedian, Jackie Cation, and we were sharing a hotel room, and Doug Benson came by to like just hang out because he was also a semifinal, and we were all staying at the same hotel, kind of quarantined there. And he came by and he was like, and Jackie's bed had the top sheet off and mine still was on. And he was like, I can tell here who is a road comic and who is actually an experienced road comic. And I was like, oh, and he was like, because the fact that you left that on, like, and now when I'm on the road, that thing comes off lickety split. Like now I stay at nicer hotels, but like that have like nice bedding that they wash the duvet. But like, there are times where I still stay at like DoubleTrees or Courtyards. That top sheet, whatever it is, there's a top thing that you can remove that doesn't involve the whole comforter. Get it the fuck off your bed, especially if it's like a quilted thing or a runner at the bottom of the bed. That thing never gets washed. Get it off your bed. Do not set anything on it. Do not touch it. And I am someone who is dirty as fuck. I do not care at all about germs. And that thing I would never, ever leave on my bed. I pick it up with my fingers like I'm picking up a dirty diaper, the tips of my fingers with my nails, and then I wash my nails. So that is, if you're not an experienced traveler, just know that is the dirtiest thing in a hotel room, besides the pillows. And bring your own pillow. Pillows are disgusting. I've watched enough things, and I actually did a segment on my show, Not Safe, about the dirtiest thing in a hotel room, and it is by far the pillows. The pillowcases are washed, but the pillows underneath are horrific. That even a pillowcase, you would not trust it to protect you from what happens on those pillows. So much semen gets wiped on them. Even I wipe, like if I'm using a toy and it's like has some stuff on it, I will wipe it on the pillow next to, it's gross, guys. All right, what's your least favorite thing in a hotel room?
Well, now it's the top sheet. Didn't even think of it.
You've already helped someone.
You know, it's really frustrating, but it's not in enough hotel rooms to become an insane problem for a lot of people, but I just hate it, is the shower that you have to get to the heat you have to go through the water. So like the door is set up that it goes in, so you have to get wet with very cold water to turn the shower on. And it's like
is a chronic problem in these places. It is bullshit.
It's bullshit. And you have so much money to just fix it. It's like and it's probably some dickhead like engineer designer that's like, "Ooh, I'm doing it different. I'm showing the world that I studied abroad in Madrid or whatever." That might just be me. I lived there for 2 weeks, not to brag. But whoever designed that thinks they're being like clever or whatever. Stop it. Just stop it. Just fucking have a curtain or a door that opens out.
You have to get your arm wet in the wet, and I know this is like so first world problems, but like,
oh yeah,
getting your arm wet with like wet cold water when you're just trying to turn on and figure out the shower itself to like pull the right thing, because sometimes there's a knob that switches it from the overhead shower to the side thing, or like the little nozzle
or the hand thing.
Yeah. So you're pulling all these levers, and you have to get wet doing it. It is insane. I don't even know. I don't understand how the engineering could be that bad in so many hotels, because it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's wild. So fucking fix it.
Yeah, good one.
Noah,
right.
bottom.
Okay, wait. So mine is also a bathroom-related thing. I cannot stand when they put the sink outside of the actual bathroom. And you're like literally flossing and brushing your teeth in the middle of the room.
Hallway. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's interesting.
I just like a sink belongs in a bathroom, please. Especially if I'm paying for the room.
That is a good point. Okay, I like that too. It's never really bothered me, but now it really is. I think it never bothered me because it kept me accountable to washing my hands, because I would then encounter it in the hallway and I go, oh, I got to do this. And if I'm sharing a hotel room with someone, it's really got to happen.
Yeah, if I'm sharing a room with someone, then they see too much of what I do. It's like too revealing.
You do. Yeah,
like the whole routine.
I hate when I would need to shit in the sink because it's clogged the toilet, and they have to go watch me then shit in the sink.
Exactly.
Also,
what do you
I
do?
hate
Also,
bar soap that gets wasted after you just open it and it's one stay and you use it for one hand washing, and then you just go, oh well, that's just gonna go. Every time I use the little plastic things, I'm just like, God, this is all just so fucking wasteful. It's just a constant reminder. The hotel room I'm staying at now is like this eco-friendly place. The key cards are wooden chips. They're little round wooden chips, the size of like a poker chip. And in the bathroom, it has a timer like that you would come in a game of like Milton Bradley's like Sorry, it's like a little sand timer.
Yeah.
And you flip it when you go in the shower so that you don't waste too much water. And it's also like this hotel is supposed to be like, you only stay here to relax. Even when you go onto their Wi-Fi, it's like, we know that you're just here to relax, but sometimes you need a little Wi-Fi. And it's like, what who is ever relaxing ever anymore? So yeah, I'm staying at this. I do like this hotel, though. It smells so fucking good in the lobby, even though I haven't even been there in a while because I stay in my room all day and I use a weird exit to get out. But I do get 20% off at Face Gym, which is where they go pummel your face. Oh, face massage is so good. Okay, let's get to the top. Final thought. Let's say our favorite things about hotel rooms, what we encounter that is our favorite thing. Anyone want to go first?
I thought you were going to.
I'll go first. Blackout curtains. A sufficient blackout curtain that I don't have to there's not a sliver of light coming through. And also ones that gets, cold. This one gets down to 66 degrees. I appreciate it very much. That is my favorite thing. Blackout curtains are so good. People always are like, I don't get enough sleep. Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. I'm like, did you have the room dark? No one ever thinks about the light. That's what's waking you up. Light and sound. White noise, blackout curtain. Otherwise, I don't want to hear about you not getting sleep. You're not doing everything you can. And it's very simple.
I'm trying to think. Top one.
I can go.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so my favorite thing, I mean, I guess there's a lot, but lighting. I like that hotels have like a light by the bed, a light in the corner. Like it's kind of like, wow, I don't know how to do this in my own house.
Yes.
And it's cool that I have it
You have
here. There's like
options.
accent lighting.
Yes. A bedside light is so crucial. I also love I love like a different kind of mattress than you get usually. You get to kind of try out different things. I love robes. I love the amount of towels. It was in Mike Birbiglia's movie, but he was, about being a comic on the road, but using towels as napkins is like my favorite thing, is like draping a towel on me and like just wiping my hand, like just being able to get so dirty because you have so many napkins and they're towels.
There's something really nice, too, about having a limited amount of clothes when you go to a hotel where even if you destroy the hotel, you throw everything everywhere, it's not that much stuff where
up.
it feels like you're weighted down, which is nice. I was thinking about robe. I love a robe because I'm not a robe guy during my real life. So when I do it at a hotel, it's extra special. And I really feel like a billionaire that I could just tell people what to do and clip my toenails and shit and be like,
The fact that
I'm a ruler.
robes, I mean, Jim Gaffigan has a bit about it, but the fact that robes, we try them on and we wear them is so disgusting that like if you found a secondhand robe at Goodwill, you'd be like, you got this robe from Goodwill, you'd be disgusted. Or if you got a mattress, a used mattress from Goodwill, yet we sleep on used mattresses, used robes, and we act like they're new or something. But Andrew's dick has been like all inside those wiping around.
Yeah,
And
but
it only
I'm
got
using
one cleaning.
Yeah, but I have a hotel condom from the last guy on, so it doesn't touch the
Yeah.
robe.
Shit,
You
they're
know?
calling me for this interview. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, I get that, but the things at Goodwill are just sitting there. At least there, there's probably clean that day, I mean,
No, but even if someone said this mattress is
No, I get-
used and the people
yeah.
before it were like, the one owner, buying a used mattress, like people don't do that. But we
No.
are like, we celebrate it in a hotel room. And Gaffigan has a great bit about hotels where like the level of disbelief that we live in to enjoy all the things that thousands of people before you have used and rubbed their genitals on. I mean, it's truly disgusting. I can't believe some of the disgusting things I've done or accidentally done in hotel rooms, knowing that like I am not that gross of a person. If I've done them, like what are people capable of? I mean, really. You've had to have had some really gross things happen in a hotel room.
Yeah, I've done some gross things. I've been lazy about certain cleanup situations.
You shit your pants last week. I feel like you probably have gotten shit somewhere in a hotel room before. That wasn't the toilet.
I'm going to plead the fifths.
Plead all those fifths. All right, we got to go. I got to do an interview. We'll be back tomorrow with more show. Thank you guys for putting up with my mood today. I'll be in a better mood next time. It comes and goes. But don't be cut out there. And jackalope.
Jackhammer.
Ah.